Hello and welcome to another regulatory wrap. Those of you of a certain age may remember the game show Family Fortunes, or Family Feud for our US viewers, which revolved around surveying members of the public on a series of topics, with the results ranging from the predictable to the absolutely baffling. Well, the FCA's recent survey said that banks are still struggling with off-channel communications, with 178 breaches of communications compliance policies in the last 12 months. The multi-firm review involved 11 wholesale banks and studied breaches of those banks' policies governing the use of communication channels like WhatsApp and Signal. Of the 178 total breaches, 131 occurred across just 3 firms. Even more concerningly, the survey found that the largest proportion of policy breaches, over 41%, came from senior staff, the very people that are expected to lead by example when building a culture of compliance. So much for tone from the top. The FCA found that in the wake of huge fines issued to firms by US regulators for record-keeping violations, banks are introducing policies and technologies to capture and monitor communications. These include policies on smartwatches, banning personal device use for business chats, and issuing brightly coloured mobile devices to some employees to make them easier to spot. Unsurprisingly, the population most likely to be monitored were client-facing roles like investment bankers and traders. Firms are working to keep pace with emerging communications channels, with their surveillance efforts extending to emojis and GIFs, voice notes and video messages. They're also increasingly leveraging AI to phase out false positives and ensure they don't miss real risks. FCA Executive Director of Markets, Simon Walls, told firms that bad actors may be actively seeking to avoid certain channels as they may be savvy to the source of the monitoring that's taking place, and that when it comes to communications compliance, there's no room for complacency. While the breaches are of internal compliance policies at banks and don't necessarily involve breaches of FCA rules, the regulator has sent a strong message, and firms should take note. Because, unlike Family Fortunes, the regulators don't offer 3 lives, and they certainly don't play games. Join us next time for another regulatory wrap.